You've been struggling and so frustrated, not even understanding why you're here, why you keep on having to deal with this, why you can't let go. This is the perspective shift that changed everything for me. My name is Marsha Mahaffey. I am a holistic reprogramming subconscious mind specialist. And I'm so excited to dive right into what perspective and understanding about your soul's evolution could support you in a new perspective in looking at not only yourself, but others. And I'm going to start with a beautiful story that I share with my clients. This is actually not a story that's religious. I just invite you into a perspective shift. It's supporting you into the what if this could be true? What if I could look at the world this way? It's not about right or wrong or what perspective is true or not true, because that's the ego. The perspective that sets you internally free is the one that is going to help you feel better. And that is ultimately the goal, my friends, is for you to feel better and not hold anger in your body from 10 years ago with a fight with an ex or a parent or a sibling or a friend. So I invite you just to open up your mind to the story I'm going to share. And let's just say, before we come down to this earth school that I call earth school, there are a whole bunch of souls that are in what most people would maybe call heaven, the universe, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. And I want you just to think of everybody being these white balls of light before they come down to earth school. And they are communicating and they're chatting and they're so excited that they get to come down to earth school. And each one of them has had a different lifetime experience on earth. Some of them maybe have had 50 lifetimes, some of them maybe 100, some of them thousands. And they all have multiple soul lessons that they're coming down to earth school to learn. And as the souls are excited and are chatting about all the exciting things that they get to come to earth and learn, there's one soul that's actually a little bit further away from the group. And this soul has had thousands of lifetimes, more than anybody that was about to come to earth school. And they were so curious about what this soul was coming to earth to learn. So one of the younger souls had the courage to go up to the older soul and say, I'm so curious. What are you going to earth school to learn? And the soul said, well, I'm going to learn forgiveness on a level 10. And all the other souls said, level 10? What are you going to do? And the older soul said, well, I'm going to be driving a car with my wife and 2 kids. And as I'm driving, a drunk driver is going to hit us. And my wife and kids are going to die. And I'm going to survive. And I am going to have to learn how to forgive. As the other souls were amazed at how big of a challenge on their soul that this very wise soul was going to learn. This old soul then looked at them again and said, so which one of you is going to be my drunk driver? As they all looked at each other in silence. And one of them finally said, I guess I'll do it. I've been wanting to learn how to forgive myself at a level 10. And the bus for Earth School comes and picks them 2 up. They come to Earth to learn their lesson. as I allow that to land for you, it's a greater opportunity to not be sucked in the moment of being a victim, of feeling like, why is this happening to me? Because when we get sucked into the victim mentality, and I'm not discrediting your feelings and how bad some of these emotions hurt. Absolutely they do. The same token, when we can learn to have different perspectives, we're no longer living in the pain, because there is pain that happens, but there's also pain that we continue to relive. And that pain is not only an emotional pain that we continue to replay and repattern through other experiences that feel like the first initial hurt. We continue to replay that out with people that we love, with partners, with family members, with our children, with our friends. So what I mean is, for example, if you felt like maybe you weren't the favorite one and it made you feel like you weren't important, then now you're seeing through those lenses and you continue to live a life where you're not fully able to value yourself, because everybody you're attracting or meeting, you're seeing through the lenses of you're not fully important. So until you perspective shift your way out of the circumstance by using this one modality that I really love. In fact, not only do I love it, but I have been teaching this for so long, and I actually saw a podcast where a woman had an NDE, and she basically confirmed a lot of what I just shared. But I'm just inviting you for the perspective. I'm not here to convince you. And I feel that was a big part of my excitement in learning that, wow, this actually could be a true story. So I invite you to set yourself free, to allow yourself to understand that things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. They're happening for you to be able to look at different perspectives. They're happening for you so you can begin to change the way you see things. Because we stay here, if we look at the world like it's a spiral like this, and each one of our lessons, we keep on coming back around to as we have a deeper sense of awareness. But if we're not changing anything and we just stay in the anger and the poor me and all of the things, then we just stay down here, right? And the day that you decide to shift the way that you're thinking, so instead of thinking like, this always happens to me, why do people always betray me? Then you can start to begin to shift your perspective. You can start to say, okay, thank you for that friend or whoever that may be that just revealed who you are. Now I get to honor my truth and my integrity. I get to send you away with love. Instead of reacting angrily to you, I get to respond with love. And now you go up the ascension spiral to master that soul contract that you came here to complete. But we can do that through the same lenses. So the deeper that you can just change anything, even if you don't think it's right, just change it. Change anything about it. I'll give you a quick example. For me, I was having a repeated pattern with money. And when I was creating my website, I had completed my whole website over 3 months. And at the end of 3 months and 100 emails later, they basically told me, we're gonna actually need another $2,000 from you. After I thought I paid in full, he said, we're gonna need another $2,000 from you in order for your website to go live. In this moment, I knew I was repeating a pattern. I was frustrated and I was angry. And I had a few choices. I was like, okay, I can just go back at these people and yell at them and still no situation's gonna change anything. Or I can start to say, okay, what is my next move? Where can I just take screenshots and build my own, go somewhere else and build and just make my website smaller and just at least get it up? Where can I do this? And so I surrendered. I let go. I knew I was in a lesson, and I meditated. It took me like 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a while, right? Like, but sometimes 24 hours, 48 a week is better than if you're on something for 10 years, right? I'm not happy. And I just want you to know that this should have been disclosed to me at the beginning. So basically what happened is within the next 48 hours, they called me back and they said, we're actually going to allow your website to go live. We're going to use a server of ours to help that happen. And I knew in that moment that because I changed my mind on how I would normally react to something is when I got a different result. So the more you're able to perspective shift yourself into changing something you would normally do, changing it to the opposite, it gets to be exciting. It gets to be so exciting that life begins to change for you. If you do try this, I'd love to hear anything in the comments that has changed for you through. And it's 550, 55 is change. So that's like your sign, right? Fives is change in the number world. So anything that you change, anything at all that you change, the way that you experience something internally, externally, all of the things, I invite you to look at it as an exciting growing moment for yourself and acknowledge yourself for being able to do that. At first, it's challenging, but the more you do it and the more you see change, the more exciting it gets to be. I know you got this. I am wishing you the best, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.